So let's just begin by breathing. Conscious breath. Inhaling life. Exhaling life. Let's take 3 deep breaths. Just release and let go of anything that happened before you came to this meditation. Any anticipation of the service, or anything that you have to do later. Right here, right now, this sacred time is for you. This sacred place is for you. You deserve it. Now check in with your body. Do a scan from your toes to the crown of your head. Deep breaths. Find anywhere that you may feel discomfort. And use your breath to inhale life. And exhale to these areas. So we have come into sacred alignment. We are aligned with the divine nature of our being. Today's meditation is on blessings, gratitude. The affirmation in the newsletter and for the service this week is, everything in my life is a welcomed realization of spirit. Breathe that in. Everything in my life is a welcomed realization of spirit. Everything in my life is a welcomed realization of spirit. Remember the truth of our being. The divine essence of the One. I invite you to open your body, your mind, your emotions to feel these blessings, to embody gratitude in your body and your mind. I am grateful when I wake up in the morning, feeling the comfort of the sheets, supported by the mattress, covered by blankets. Awakening to a brand new day. I am grateful for my body. My toes and feet and how they support me. How they feel on the ground. I am grateful for the connection to the earth through my feet. I am grateful for the support of my legs. That propel me through life. Giving me mobility through time and space. I am grateful for my torso, my spine, rib cage, covering and protecting the organs of my body. I am grateful for my neck and my head. I'm grateful for my eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. I am grateful for my skin that surrounds my beautiful soul. I'm grateful for every fiber, muscle, ligament, blood vessel, and organs in my body. I allow myself to feel complete gratitude. Throughout my body now. Breathing in deeply to this realization. I'm grateful for the wind, the sunlight, the moonlight, the sun and the stars. The water, the dirt and sand. I sense this gratitude for nature in my mind. Breathing in deeply. I'm grateful for coffee, tea, water, beverages that I choose to drink that sustain me. Food that nourishes my body and delights my sense of taste. Sounds, vibrations, rhythm, hearing, feeling, sensing. To be kissed by the wind, the sunlight on my face, a shower, awakening the physical sensation of touch. To see colors and amazing things that come into my view. To smell my favorite foods. The ocean, the dirt, a fireplace burning. I call to mind and am grateful for the people in my life. My partners in my relationship, through my commitment, through work, through community. I know that whenever I call another to mind, it is a blessing to myself and them. Feeling grateful for the people in my life. Now we have wrapped and embodied gratitude in our bodies with just some of the blessings of living life. And we affirm everything in my life is a welcomed realization of spirit. And we breathe. Everything in my life is a welcomed realization of spirit. Everything in my life is a welcomed realization of spirit. As I'm grateful for everything that delights, excites, guides, and enhances this life experience, I also recognize gratitude for the challenges in my life. Those people, places, and things that trigger me, that give me pause, reflection. My conscious awareness of my sadness, anger, and grief. Gives me pause and allows me to reflect. I invite you to bring to mind something that challenges you. Let's breathe in life. Exhale life. In this safe and sacred place and space, bring gratitude into this experience. Recognizing that we have the power to transform our experiences. Maybe not to change the physical event or irritation, but how we think about that. There is our power. It could be a physical challenge, an emotional awareness, an old story, we use this idea of gratitude and forgiveness, not for the other person or event, but as a selfish, selfness recognition of our power. Knowing that there are events that have awakened our awareness, shaped our reality, our power. For this, I am grateful. I will end this meditation with our affirmation, followed by a spiritual mind treatment. Everything in my life is a welcomed realization of spirit. And I smile, breathing in. Everything in my life is a welcomed realization of spirit. Everything in my life is a welcomed realization of spirit. And this is what I know. There's one power, one essence, one created force that created all of life, the entire cosmos. It is the power that is life, that lives and moves and has its being as that divine essence made manifest through each one of us. We are the way that spirit expresses in this 3D form. We are life made manifest, and it is good. It is so good. Allowing ourselves to be grateful for everything, for all those events that have brought us to this time and this place and this space. Knowing that we are the beloved in whom spirit, force, cosmic energy is well pleased with itself and the divine unfolding of life through itself. Today we reflect and we give gratitude. Breathe in gratitude. We let it fill up our body and our mind and our emotions and our heart. We are made of gratitude, and it feels good. Being grateful for this time to spend together in meditation. Being grateful for recognition of the power, of the conscious power we have to choose our experiences and to reflect on our experiences. I am so grateful. So I release this treatment. I release it into the law, knowing that it is done unto me as I believe. It is done unto us as we know. And we know that we know. We know that the highest and best is unfolding in our lives right now and in the lives of our center. We give gratitude. Releasing and letting go, knowing that all is well. All is well in my world now. Amen. And so it is.
Good morning, GSL Greater Baltimore. Lea here. So blessed and grateful to be with you today. I'm going to start out with a song by Daniel Raymont, and if you know it, I hope you will sing along. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Sing it with me. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place. This is the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Good Sunday morning, all. Good Sunday, good Sunday, good Sunday morning. All right, so in order to help with our new method of recording our service, we request that congregants and participants who are not speaking, performing, or interpreting to please turn cameras off until after service. At that time, all can come on camera to fellowship and share the love. Thank you for your cooperation. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's virtual service. I am Tracy Rhymes, your host. Our speaker today is Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson. Our musician is Lea Morris. Serving as today's practitioner who led the pre-service meditation is Sue Monaghan. Assisting with making this service open, inviting, and accessible to the deaf community are our sign language interpreters, Dedra Wilcher and Faith Moore. Holding things down, working behind the scenes is Jim Lefter. On behalf of Reverend Dr. Ray, thank you for your service. Turn it down. Please hold. Unplug and plug back in. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
He's such a gem.
I'm not Jim.
A gem, G-E-M, not J-I-M.
Every Sunday is Invite a Friend Sunday.
Okay, at the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore, every Sunday is Invite a Friend or Family Member Sunday. Make sure you spread the love and invite someone to service. We would love to have them hang out with us. We would, and they would have a ball. Okay. Before Sue grounds us in prayer, let me share this about her. Sue Monaghan has been part of this teaching since 2004. She has been a practitioner since 2013. Sue believes that we are the point of power in our lives, that our essence is spiritual and it is good. It is her desire to let Spirit reveal this wonderful truth through her. Sue is committed to CSLGB's vision that we are demonstrating a world that works for all. One life-affirming thought, word, feeling, deed, and one human interaction at a time. We all make a difference in other people's lives. May our light shine for all to see.
Good morning, CSL Greater Baltimore. So grateful to be here. Just breathing in, breathing the divine energy and flow of life, knowing that there's one life and it's God, and it lives and moves and has its way and its being through each one of us. Each one of us called to this understanding, each one of us in recognition of this deep truth that we are the divine in expression, that we are the creation and the creator and the creative power that lives and moves and has its being through us, and it is good. So being grateful for being here today to share, to celebrate, and to recognize the divinity within each one of us, to see that expressed, to hear the divine message from our Reverend Raymont, and the beautiful, inspiring music from Lea, to watch our interpreters, to know and to honor, to be grateful for Tracy, our hostess, and for Jim holding down the fort in the background. Everything that's gone in to make this service today perfect. The divine message, being grateful for being here, being grateful for sharing and celebrating. It's all God, it's all good. Amen, and so it is.
Amen. And so it is. Thank you, Sue. The Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore's community, honors the world's religions. One tree, many branches. One mountain, many paths. One world, many religions and spiritual traditions. With the lighting of these candles on the first Sunday of each month, we not only honor each person on their select path, but we also bless them and recognize the light, the love, and the life-affirming nature as it shows, excuse me, of spirit as it shows itself in each path, in each practice, and in each person. I have some announcements for you. We currently have 3 weekly ongoing ways to study, learn, and discuss. First and third Monday nights, the Sacred Contracts Book Club. That's hosted by Nancy Rosenberg. Wednesday nights, the Science of Mind Textbook Exploration Group, facilitated by Reverend Dr. Ray. And on Thursday nights, study group facilitated by practitioner Dr. Ronnie Ellington. Check them out. The Discovery class is available online. Contact us at info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org or visit the website for more information on becoming a member of CSLGB. Sign up for CSLGB newsletter, the CSLGB Facebook and Instagram pages, and get more news and information by visiting cslgreaterbaltimore.org and cslgreaterbaltimore.com. The Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's Ministry of Education has upcoming classes. Exploring Roots of Science of Mind, facilitated by Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson. 7 to 9 p.m. for 8 weeks. This is the last week to enroll. Exploring Roots of Science of Mind is a transformational course and a fascinating journey through the minds of New Thought luminaries who greatly influenced Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science. Each luminary provides a different spiritual perspective. Also, ASL Level 1 through CSL 8 weeks begins April 30th. It'll be 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Foundations of Science of Mind, facilitated by Dr. Ronnie Ellington. If you are interested in taking foundations, contact Sue Monaghan. Once 4 or more people express a desire, a Saturday class will be scheduled. Mental Equivalence with Reverend Chris Ashley, Senior Minister of Celebration Center for Spiritual Living in Falls Church, Virginia. That will be Wednesdays, April 28th through May 26th, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. All are welcome. The tuition is $170 and scholarships are available. Leap into a state of true potential by activating the powerful law of mental equivalence. For every formed thing in the universe, there is a corresponding mental image. Discover how to measure and expand thinking to create a larger mental image so that one's greatest desires may demonstrate. Excuse me. For the full class descriptions and more information, you are encouraged to visit the website cslgreaterbaltimore.org or cslgreaterbaltimore.com to find more educational opportunities in ours and other communities we are partnered with. Would you like to receive a daily text and voicemail from Reverend Dr. Ray? Okay. So since you said yes, type join, that's JOIN, to 833-663-9021 to begin receiving your daily inspirations. You will be glad you did. For those of you joining us for the first time, and as a reminder to others on the on the count of 3, we shout, prayer works. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Prayer works. Ooh, that was loud. All right, that was a good loud. All right, so we as a community to continue to treat and move our feet, knowing the truth for everyone around the planet. Prayer requests can be sent at any time. That is at any time via email to info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org. Excuse me. At this time, we pause for a brief moment of silence in recognition of those, in recognition of those listed here and those not listed who are victims of gun violence and tragedy, and for their families and friends who mourn. Thank you. Our musician today is Lea Morris, a great voice singing great songs. While she often draws comparisons to other female phenoms like Tracy Chapman, Joni Mitchell, and Ani DiFranco, Lea's sound seamlessly blends gospel, jazz, country, and R&B into her own style, soul folk. Lea was born in Baltimore to a father who toured the world playing trumpet in the funk band Black Heat, and a mother who dreamed of opera while performing with her siblings in the Jones Family Gospel Singers. Excuse me. Lea was singing on the pulpit of the Baptist church where she grew up as soon as she could speak. When she discovered the acoustic guitar as a teenager, she began teaching herself to play by writing songs. Lea's final year in high school in Germany at a classical conservatory where she sang with jazz ensembles Black and White and co-wrote with the British pop trio Indigo Wild. There's more that Lea is doing. Visit her website, thisislea.com, to learn more.
Hear the wind of change. 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 You can feel the wind of change. The healing wind of change. See, we can see the wind of change. We can be the wind of change.
Now, Sue will lead us in a spiritual practice.
Good morning. I titled today's meditation, Blessing with an Attitude of Gratitude. So let's just begin by breathing in deeply. Signaling our magnificent bodies to release any tensions. Allowing our minds to open up and to expand our heart space to the experience of gratitude. Take a moment to call to mind the things that you're grateful for. People, places, things, your senses, hopes and dreams. Breathing deeply, open your body, mind, and heart to be immersed in a deep, profound experience of gratefulness. Allow yourself to fully experience the self as gratitude. A sacred sense of being blessed and being a blessing. Was there anything that snuck in that caused you pause? something that maybe triggered a different response. Somewhere, somebody, some place. It triggers emotions, sadness, grief, or anger. Breathe in. These can be things that we can be grateful for. And I'm reminded in this quote from Alex Ellie, I am grateful for my struggles because without it, I wouldn't have stumbled across my strength. So take just a moment in gratitude for your challenges. Everything that has happened has led you to this place, to this space. You are loved. You are loved. You are loving. You are blessed, and you are a blessing. So in gratitude, I offer this prayer, a prayer of knowing that there's only one and that we're all connected through this, that there is never any point of separation, that we are eternal spiritual beings having a spiritual experience in these 3D body suits. And we choose to make that good. We choose gratitude in our life. We choose to experience gratitude in the face of something that at the time may seem unpleasant or unexplainable. Let that go, and we trust, and we surrender, and we accept, and we open up, and we love ourselves fully and completely. We allow those winds of change to come and go. And we accept this life and living it fully and making it an awesome day in gratitude and thanks, releasing this treatment into the law and loving acceptance of the truth of our being. It is all God. It is all good. Amen. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Sue. All right. Senior Minister, Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore, Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson, has frequently been referred to as a Renaissance man. One look at his resume and the reason becomes clear. As a lifelong learner with a passion for self-development, personal transformation, transmutation, and self-awakening, he lives his bliss as a teacher, mentor, speaker, minister, and so much more. His mission is to live, move, and be inactive, which is an acronym, authentic, compassionate, transparent, inspired, vibrant, and empowered. Member of society who serves to educate, elucidate, emancipate, awaken, and empower people and communities. Rev, do your thing.
Good morning, everybody. It's great seeing some regulars and some folks we haven't seen in a while. It's great having everyone here this morning. Good morning and blessings to all. So today, very similarly to last week, there are going to be some changes to what I was originally going to talk about. But let's jump into this huge paragraph. Every new journey we choose to embark on is filled with excitement and anticipation. And there may also be feelings of hesitation. This paradoxical state could be called a bless-itation, a combination of blessings and hesitations. As we live forward, we discover not only the particular blessings and our hesitations, we also discover that we have the opportunity to recognize the power of blessings. Whatever is before us and or triggering us, greeting it with curiosity, transparency, authenticity, and righteousness. What gifts are available to be discovered by you during moments of bless-itation? So, this paradoxical state, blessing and hesitation. Well, if we're really going to discuss like this idea of blessings and hesitations, then we have to be sort of clear on, well, what is a blessing and what does it mean for there to be hesitation? So because y'all know I love words, let's look at some other meanings for hesitation. Pigeon number 2 says vacillation, hesitancy, reluctance, doubt, uncertainty, indecision. These are some of the other words that are very close to and similar to this idea of hesitation. Because if we're going to get clear on, well, if we're having blessings, but we're hesitating, then it serves us to know in a more clear and direct manner what is causing the hesitation. Because there's one thing to doubt, and that's the reason for my hesitation. But there's another reason. Well, I'm not very good on making a definitive choice. I'm always, because once you choose, you've chosen. So it's, do I want the salad or do I want the sandwich? But the sandwich, but the salad, the last time, could you just choose? Just pick one. But it's such a difficult choice. So in our hesitancy, it's very good to know, is it because of doubt? I'm uncertain about something, or I believe that something may not be true, or it may be unlikely. Like I doubt that Tracy's going to cut the grass today. She probably is. She's hesitating. She's laughing at me right now. To have no confidence in someone or something. Could that be what the hesitation is? Or is it simply the act of pausing, delaying, waiting before saying or doing something? Or is it the inability to decide between different options or actions, indecision? If we're going to really dive in, then it benefits us to know exactly what is the energy that is causing the hesitation, which means sitting with ourselves and doing that introspective work. Science of Mind says, the one encompasses and flows through all, spilling itself into numberless forms and personalities. So the all that is all that is. So if it's all that is, and it's everywhere and everything, then let's ask this question. Which one which one do we choose to do? Do we choose to count our blessings? Count your blessings. Because oftentimes when we're counting blessings, we're seeing them as something other than us, versus the greatest gift of all is to become the blessing. Now I can count them. I have great family, great friends, great food, great stuff, great. It's all good. I'm counting my blessings. But what changes when I become the blessing? When I recognize that God is all there is and it is everywhere, then if I'm counting my blessings, then what doesn't get counted to a certain degree? I mean, in essence, I could be counting all day, every day, all the good. I love the gray on the wall. That's a blessing. I love the Buddha behind me. That's a blessing. I love the prayer flags. That's a blessing. I love the bonsai tree. That's a blessing. I love the candles. That's a blessing. I love all of you. That's a blessing. And if I count each one of you, then that's all 29 of you. Like, when does the counting cease? But the moment I have become the blessing, then I am open to and I avail myself, just like breath. I don't know how many times I've inhaled this morning because I wasn't counting them. I was allowing it to be. And the moment we allow the blessing that we are as spirit to be, then everything becomes recognized as the blessing, as a blessing. Science of Mind also says there is a universal mind, spirit, intelligence. That is the origin of everything. It is first cause. It is God. So once again, this first cause, this originating force or power that is all there is causing, because it's all there is, it is causing everything that is in our minds and our hearts. Like, it is, because if we have one mind, if there is one mind, and what I think, I am using this exact same power, this universal mind, then I am using this universal mind to either bring blessings, because in the same way, I can be a blessing or I can be a curse. I can be the very person that shows up in your house that you're like, look, dude, you got to go. Well, Maya Angelou said, when someone's in her home, she would not allow that. You don't use those words in my home, because words have power and they sink into the carpet and into the walls and into the paint and into the wallpaper. You will not flood my home with such energy. So we know that there are people that were like, no, go somewhere else with that. So we can be a blessing or we can be a curse. And yet, either or, both and, are still using the same power and principle. Because if I'm thinking damnation, and I'm thinking evil, and I'm thinking hurt, kill, that's what I'm thinking, then those thoughts create a certain energy, and that certain energy creates a certain action. But I'm still using the same power and principle that the Dalai Lama is using, that Peace Pilgrim is using, that anybody and everybody who is walking this path of spiritual awakening is using. There are not two separate powers. There's only one. Which choosing of this power are we choosing? Which one, blessings or curses? If we're going to use the same power, which method, which path are we going to choose to use it to create more of, to be in alignment with, to sow greater seeds of? Albert Einstein said there are two ways to live our lives. One, as though nothing is a miracle, or the other is as though everything is a miracle. Well, it's very similar to what I just said about the blessing or the curse, but let's pause for a second and breathe. Because we have to ask ourselves, which way do I live? Do I live as if nothing is a miracle, or as if everything is a miracle? Or do I somehow vacillate between the two, that some things are miracles and other things aren't? Now, yes, let us be very clear. that when we are talking about genocide, that is not a miracle. When we are talking about police brutality and badge sanctioned murder, that is not a blessing nor a miracle. Let us be clear. Racism is not. Sexism is not. We are not claiming that this illness and disease of racism, sexism, xenophobia, autism, etc. We are not claiming that we are supposed to now say, oh, it's all good and it's all God. No, because in this realm of the flesh, we do experience things that we call bad, wrong, evil, injustice. What is ours to do regarding it? Therein lies the miracle. What is our choosing to change and shift it? Therein lies the blessing. Because if I do not feel well and I go to the doctor, then the doctor who uses their techniques and technologies to help my body restore itself to health and wholeness, therein lies, now she has become a blessing unto me. I can see the miracle of her intelligence and knowledge and skill as she tends to my body's needs. So let's be clear. This is not spiritual bypass nor spiritual malpractice. This is spiritual stewardship and accountability. Science of Mind says the life which we live is the universal life expressing through us. Otherwise, how could we even live? So this one God, source, spirit, whatever we are calling it, the Tao, which has many names, it is what is living itself as us. And we get to choose the quality of that life. And when we see someone else who is not able to, there's a guy, he's not eating. Now, do I give him a fish and walk away, knowing that if you give him a fish, he eats for a day? Or do I use what I know as the teaching and technology of science of mind and spirit and teach him how to change his or her or their mental equivalent, that they now know how to fish for the rest of their lives? And when I say fish, for those of you, my vegan brothers, sisters, and non-gender conforming siblings, when I say fish, I am saying to cast into the great mystery of life, that they are then able to reap whatever it is they are choosing to, by their deserving and desiring. What are they choosing to experience? But if I simply look at them, oh, I'm sorry, you don't have food. Oh, maybe you should get a job. Oh, you don't have, maybe you should pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. Oh, you don't have, or, oh, poor them, they live in that neighborhood, or, oh, poor such and such. What am I doing? Am I not part of the problem then, because I am looking at them as though they are other rather than they are what? How many times have you heard me say, no, I am not my brother's keeper, nor am I my sister's keeper, nor am I my gender non-conforming siblings' keeper. I am them. And if I am able to look at them in their whatever condition it is and simply turn away from it and ignore, that's their problem, not mine, then that is spiritual immaturity. If we are going to create a world that works for all, then some level, some way, we are called to treat and move our feet. Because the exact same universal life, which is living, moving, and having its beingness as me, is the same universal life, living, moving, and having its beingness as Tracy, as that homeless vet, as this person who doesn't know the difference between a taser and a gun, still one universal life. The person who is experiencing cancer, same universal life. The person who wants to build a wall, same universal life. What is mine to do to reconcile this anger that I feel when, because it's easy to want to other them. It's easy to feel helpless and hopeless, like, what am I supposed to do with the hungry in the world? What am I supposed to do when there is war in the Middle East? It's too big of a problem for me. Do you know how to pray? Meditate. Join discussion groups. Write your congressmen and senators. Speak up. And then when and if you are called to, then act up. There is only one universal life. And if it is all there is, and we want a world that works for all, then we are all called to engage the one universal life that is expressing itself in, through, and as all that is. Otherwise, how could we even live? So pause and breathe. Miracles. We talk about them. Oh, that was such a miracle. They couldn't walk and now they can. They were blind and yet they see. Such and such. It's a miracle. The doctor said they weren't going to live beyond. It's a miracle. My father was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease. Should have only lived 2 to 4 years, and he outlived 3 of the doctors that told him he should be dead. It's a miracle. But is it a miracle? Well, I mean, I guess that depends on how we're defining a miracle. Because maybe a miracle simply means moments in reality, acting consciously, living and embodying spirit. If that's the case, then everything, every moment has the seed of a miracle. Every instance, every experience, somewhere in there, there is the opportunity to expand into a choosing that this moment is divine. Miracles are not magical, unexpected, rare occurrences. Not if God is all there is. If God is all there is, then it is present everywhere all the time. If source is all there is, then everything we call a miracle, a blessing, is just that. Everything is a miracle and a blessing. It is a choice to see God in, through, and as all. It is a choice to embody love, life, source, as it incarnates in, through, and as us. Electricity is a miracle and a blessing. Feeling a breeze is a miracle and a blessing. As Sue said this morning during the pre-service meditation, coffee, tea, whatever that is it is a blessing and a miracle. Because I didn't go out and find coffee beans and grind them up and drink them. Juan Valdez did, or somebody did that. I just said, well, you know why. So I'm grateful that he said, let me go out here. What is this little bean? Oh, it smells good. Let me dice it up, and that's not good as puree. Let me chop it up and fry it. Not good as a sandwich. Let me put it through this, and oh, this is delicious. That's a miracle and a blessing. Everything around us, it is all God. But what determines it as a blessing or a miracle is our choosing. Books, bikes, bathrooms, all of it. Laughter, tears, hugs, all of it. Are we willing and able to find the blessing and the miracles that are occurring in our life experience? When life happens and we are surrounded by piles of sugar, honey, iced tea, wink, wink. When we are surrounded, Tracy's laughing at me right now. When we are surrounded by this, are we able to say, look, if all of this shit is here, then clearly there's a pony somewhere. Let me find my pony. Because Ernest Holmes said, what you are looking for is what you are looking with. So if I am looking for a miracle, I am looking for a blessing, I am looking for the good, then the good is what you are looking with. Love is what you are looking with. God is what you are looking with. Remember, we've talked about this idea of, do you have faith in God or the faith of God? Do you have faith as God would have faith? Same thing. Do you love as God loves? Do you bless as God blesses? Do you live, move, and have your beingness as God lives, moves, and is being all that is. Because when we look around and we're going to see shit happen. We're going to see it. Let's be honest. But we can also choose to see ways for it to never happen again. We can see ways. We've served the vets at the Baltimore station. Now, the Baltimore station is not a permanent housing situation. It is not a permanent place of residency and treatment. It is a temporary way station where they are doing the work to help these veterans get back up and in a state of, once again, health and well-being, that they are then able to go out into the world and once again be productive and active members of society, no longer bound by addiction, no longer oppressed by PTSD, no longer victims of whatever. Baltimore Station is pouring into their lives. We serve them dinner, pouring into their lives. Fellowship with them, pouring into their lives, knowing that what we are looking for, their health and well-being, is what we are looking with. Because the moment we are able to acknowledge health and well-being and see it for another, then that means somewhere that is what we are seeing with, or we wouldn't be able to see it at all. You can't look for a pony if you don't have a concept of pony. You can't look for a blessing if you don't have the concept of blessing in your consciousness. You can't find a miracle if you don't have the miraculous as a state of consciousness. But how often do we ground and anchor into that awareness? Thomas Troward says, the whole problem of life consists in finding the true relation of the individual to the universal originating spirit. In other words, the moment we recognize that there is only God and what it is we are, things change. The catalyst occurs. But for as long as we think there's the individual I or me and the individual separate that which is God, spirit, source, then there's going to be some form of conflict, some form of doubt, some form of hesitation, because it's either or. Either I'm human and whatever, suffer. I'm a sinner since birth, doomed to an eternity in hell. How could I be anything other than? And so I vacillate with all of the things that are wrong with me, with all of the issues and problems and pains and things. How could I possibly also be made in the image and likeness of love itself? That every cell is God. My thoughts, God. My words, God. This breath, God breathing itself. But the moment we find the true relation that there is only one, we both and. We are human and we are divine spirit. We are whoever we are and we are God incarnating itself as us. Not either or, both and. Then we change the quality of our living. John Hyder said, all power derives from conscious or unconscious cooperation with spirit. All power derives from conscious or unconscious cooperation. Well, if that's the case, then which one outweighs the other? Are we equally yoked or unequally yoked between blessings and hesitations? Which one are we focusing on, unconsciously and or consciously? Because one is going to outweigh the other. But the moment we breathe and anchor in, then we start to think differently, because Henry Ford said, if you say you can or you can't, you are right either way. Richard Bach said, argue for your limitations and sure enough, they're yours. We are unequally yoked when we are doing this, because we are saying one thing, I want to be free, I want to be happy, I want to be loved. But am I good enough? But am I pretty enough? Am I smart enough? Am I qualified enough? Am I enough? Plain and simple. But it is possible to balance this and come to a state of homeostasis, living with the Tao, yin yang in balance. Joel Goldsmith said, keep the word of God alive in your mind. Keep the concept of, keep the awareness of God alive in your mind, in your thoughts, and in your experience, and you will never know lack or limitation. Now, we could argue, but really? But let's say it this way. When we speak, act, move, live, and have our beingness from this awareness of the truth of our being as God, then do we not also acknowledge that even when I am now hungry and or homeless and or whatever that is, I also now know that this is not the truth of my being, nor is it a permanent state of being, because I am able, through this awareness, through knowing the power of thought, the power of the law of mind and action, that I am now then able to change my external circumstances. So when lack or limitation shows up, physically, there's a pain, there's a something, there's a diagnosis. I hear you, but I am not focusing on that as the truth of my being. It is an experience. But this experience does not mean that I lack any. Some people have 100% of God. Some people have 90% of God. Me with this pain in my neck and pain in my, and all this other stuff that's going on, I'm running on 2 cylinders, so I have about 12% God. No. No matter what the external circumstance or situation, each and every one is 100% divine, filled with the exact same abundance and opulence of the stars in the heavens and the sands on every beach and every desert on the face of this planet, far more numerous than we could ever count. When we know and keep the word of God in our minds, in our thoughts, in our feelings, in our being, then we change and recognize this external experience and condition can be changed. Then we are moving and living in balance. Then we recognize the blessing of and the miracle in all that is. This week's invitation to explore: where in my life can I identify blessings? Just be mindful. Like, can you come up with 10 today? And 10 different ones tomorrow? And 10 different ones Tuesday? Where in my life can I identify blessings? Where in my life is the evidence of hesitation and doubt and indecision or vacillation? Where can I identify, I was straddling the fence on that one. I was lukewarm on that one. Matter of fact, I think I'm still lukewarm. I don't think I've made a decision. Wow, it's been 27 years and I still have not definitively decided to be lukewarm, to be hot or to be cold. Why, Tracy? Why? Why can't I make up my mind? I don't know what I want to eat. Tracy said I sound like her, if y'all didn't hear her. But no, seriously, where in my life is the evidence of any of that? What is one shift that I can make this week to balance the scales of awareness and action in my life to embody the blessing of miracles? Where can I embody awareness and action to not only identify, but to be that which we are calling miracles? And then lastly, have a conversation with 3 personas, with 3 people, about feeling doubt, feeling hesitancy, as well as feeling or receiving blessings. Chat with folks about it, because conversation is a spiritual practice. And simply by having this dialogue, this divine discourse, we find things within ourselves through conversation like, oh, wow, I didn't realize that until I heard myself say it out loud. Wow. Hold on, let me think about that, right? So engage these practices and notice what shifts. This week's declaration or affirmation, Sue mentioned it in the pre-service meditation. I will read it first, and then together we will declare it. Everything in my life is a welcomed realization of spirit. Together, everything in my life is a welcomed realization of spirit. And we breathe. Just breathe that in as we prepare to welcome back to the stage the miraculous and the blessing of music that Lea Morris is about to grace us with once again. Breathe in gratitude. Blessings. Thank you, Lea.
Who I am today will not be who I am tomorrow, and who I am tomorrow will keep changing every day. And all the things I learned might fill my heart with joy or sorrow, and everything I learned might make me want to change my ways. Oh, there is nothing, no thing that ever stays the same. That is the one thing that life does guarantee. There is no one on earth, no one who knows what path their life will take, and no one knows what I will see as I keep becoming me. The family you were raised in does not dictate who you marry, and the country you were born in won't decide where you are buried, and all you once believed might leave you stranded on an island where the only way back home is to abandon it as lies. And there is nothing, no thing that ever stays the same. That is the one thing, one thing that life does guarantee. There is no one on earth, no one who knows where their lives will be, what path their life will take, and no one knows what I will see as I keep becoming me, becoming me. I must stay open to the change, curious and free, and always ready to be rearranged. There is nothing that ever stays the same. That is the one thing that life does guarantee. There is no one on earth, no one who knows what course their life will take, and no one knows who I will be as I keep becoming me, as I keep becoming me, as I keep becoming me, as I keep becoming. Hey, you guys, Lea here. So I knew that some folks are celebrating the theme or the idea of becoming this month. And I sat down, or probably I was walking, and I had this sort of generic idea. I am becoming all that I can be, or something like that. And I thought, that's all right. But nothing else happened with it. Like, it just kind of lost momentum. And then a few days ago, this song just came pouring out. It's definitely autobiographical without being super specific. It talks about some of the experiences that we go through that help us define who we are, to find who we are, to divine who we are. None of that's in the song, but the experiences. I love this Buddhist quote that says, "The foot feels the foot when it touches the ground." And that's what this song is about. It's about the fact that who we are becomes really, truly clear to us in our relationships, in our relationship to the rest of life. So hopefully you'll feel and hear some resonance in the song, and maybe feel free to write in the comments below what you hear or what you feel are some of those deciding moments that have helped you to become who you are. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks for liking and subscribing, and just for continuing to support this music. It means a lot to me, and I'm grateful to be able to share with you. Bye.
Namaste and blessings. Thank you, Lea. Thank you. So I like that idea of being in a relationship, like how Carl Jung said, and I'm paraphrasing, that when two chemicals are brought into combination, there is a catalyst, there is a change, there is a transformation. So when two people, because Tracy's not the same person now that she was before I met her, and vice versa. I'm not the same person in the coming together and becoming friends, and then becoming siblings and becoming employer and employee. Like our relationship. Stop shaking your head. Our relationship changed. So I just like that idea of who each of us becomes when we are in relationship. Speaking of relationship, we have a relationship as the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore. We have a relationship as people who practice the science of mind and spirit. We are all in divine relationship with one another. And so at this moment, part of that relationship is, how do we tithe and donate where we are spiritually fed and where we are supporting the community in ways that enable the community to do greater things out in the world. So one, the Practitioner Corps of CSL Greater Baltimore has pledged, on top of their already scheduled tithing, they have pledged an additional $25,000 by the end of this year. Thus far, to date, as of April 15th, it's $1,265. The community's matching pledge, not sure what the numbers are at this present moment, but we have the opportunity to change that so that there's an actual number on there. But you may ask, well, how does one tithe or offer of their treasure to the community?
How?
Tracy said, how? PayPal. That's how. PayPal is one option. Text messaging is a second option, and the postal mail is a third option. For more information, you can always go to the website. You can contact one of the board of trustees. You can contact any of us and ask for more information on what does it mean to tithe, donate, and offer of my treasure. You can also ask, well, what are the options if I want to divide 50-50? Part of it to the new building, part of it to hospitality. Like, what are my options? Feel free to ask, and we will give you information on that as well. Together, our declaration of financial wealth and abundance. Ready?
Ready.
Let's go. I joyfully, consciously, and gratefully participate in the law of circulation. I trust in the spiritual principle that says, as I sow into my beloved community, I demonstrate my awareness of standing not only in the flow, but as the flow itself. As I sow of myself, my time, my treasure, my talent, I demonstrate my support and engagement in my community's vision, mission, and purpose. I actively give as a demonstration of manifesting, of reaping the harvest of a world that works for all. Amen. Ooh, and so it is. Ashe. So we breathe and we prepare. Tracy said, be awesome today. You let him up.
And we prepare, Tracy says.
Yes, and we prepare. Hey. Don't criticize your boss. or your younger brother. Don't play. Tracy said, be awesome today. So take the opportunity to, embody what that means as you go out and have an amazing day. And even if there's something going on, because like right now, I'm still in my feelings about the world events that are currently going on. So even with that, I'm balancing that with today is my granddaughter's birthday. So I am also in celebration mode regarding that. Wow. So it's possible to both and to grieve and to celebrate. So whatever that means for you today, simply be awesome. Simply be present. And recognizing that today you do have the opportunity to have one-on-one prayer with our practitioner on duty. Type the word prayer in the chat box so Tracy can identify and put you in a breakout room with Sue or any of the other practitioners if they are on and able to serve as well. And if you aren't able to stay on, or you would rather, send a prayer request via email or whatever, that is also an option. So just know that just because it's Thursday doesn't mean you have to wait till Sunday for prayer. Send an email, and if you want someone to contact you to pray with you, all you have to do is ask. Also today is a board meeting. Board of Trustees are meeting to demonstrate what it means to be excellent stewards of this beloved community and all of the time, talent, and treasure that is right here with us. If you are curious, you want to know how to be involved, any of that stuff, then feel free to stay on the Zoom call. And when the board meeting starts, you're already present. Oh, and Tracy said, if you're staying for both, feel free to put both. That way we know, for example, Fifi said both, but she's in prayer right now. So we'll hold a little moment so prayer can end, and then both Sue and Fifi can then join the meeting. Right? So just so you know. Let us close out with our benediction of service, recognizing that the infinite all that is present in, through, and as each and every one. That the ineffable, that which is beyond names, that which is beyond labels and categories and quantifications, that the allness of God is showing itself as this face and the face of all, as these hands and the hands of all, as this heart and the heart of all, as this being and the beingness of all. Recognizing that the infinite blessings and miracles of this infinite spirit are eternally present, and simply by the recognition that says, this is, and it is so. This is, and it is so. I live, move, and have my beingness as a very demonstration of the miraculous, the beneficial, the blessings. And knowing this, why would I hesitate? I leap and allow faith, the very verb of faith, to move me as I live forward, recognizing love. Knowing this, I surrendered into the law that always says yes. And knowing that it says yes, I know this treatment. And I know that what Sue prayed in the pre-service and the invocation, I know that the consciousness of the practitioners and every member of this beloved community, I know That consciousness is what drives this community, and it is good and oh so good as we reap the benefits of a world that works for all. It is done, it is so, and together we say, and so it is.
And so it is.
Much love to you all. Chat with you soon.